you all for joining. Welcome, Stockton. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Toussaint Hakeem Stewart. Welcome to the Stockton Black Family Day Kwanzaa. I appreciate you all for being here. This is Malcolm Stewart, my brother. And we are sons of Martina Floyd Okanlawan, and we're representing the Stockton Black Family Day Kwanzaa for 2020. Give it up to yourselves. And our principle on the first day of Kwanzaa of this year is Umoja, which is Swahili for unity. And the theme around unity is to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and the race. So, in honor of that, we're going to drum for a few minutes for our community, for our people, and in honor of unity between me and my brother. And then after that, we will have a community libation ceremony to honor our ancestors and those who have fallen to police violence this year, and we will honor their memory. So, enjoy our drumming for a few minutes. Happy Kwanzaa. Let's go, let's go. All right. Thank you. Now, we will start out with our libation ceremony. Here we go. And we will go ahead and light the candle. Somebody can give me a lighter. That would be awesome. Before we get started. We light the black candle for unity. Hopefully you all have a Kanar at home and you have just lit your first Kwanzaa candle. And we will go ahead and we will pour libation into this plant. This plant is representative of life and the spirit of the people, which is where our ancestors reside. And as we call out their names, you say Ashe in acknowledgement of them in the spirit world, but also honoring them living inside of us every time we call out their names. If there are any ancestors that you'd like to call out for your family as well, in the comfort of your home, please do so. So, we want to honor one of the forerunners of Black culture in Stockton and arts, Ed Nixon. We say Ashe for Ed Nixon. His wife and soulmate, Kathy Nixon. We say Ashe for that Stockton forerunner. Okay. And we want to honor Vodi Mukular. We say Ashe. Willie Douglas. We say Ashe. Booker Lee. we say Ashe. Ashe. Allison Carr, where Muhammed, we say Ashe. Ashe. Albert Brown, we say Ashe. Ashe. Lavina Moppins Gray, we say Ashe. 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 Floyd Comfort, we say Ashe. Ashe. Vic Harris, we say Ashe. Ashe. Ben Reddish, we say Ashe. Ashe. Don Carter, we say Ashe. Ashe. Reddit Girly Gross, we say Ashe. Ashe. Shirley Organoff, we say Ashe. Ashe. Cleve Edwards, we say Ashe. Ashe. AJ Floyd, my grandfather, we say Ashe. Ashe. Ann Davis Floyd, my grandmother, we say Ashe. Ashe. Daryl Stewart, my beloved father, we say Ashe. Ashe. Wilma Alexander, we say Ashe. Ashe. James Bell, we say Ashe. Ashe. For all those black and brown warriors who were unrighteously killed by police violence in the year 2020 and even before, we say Ashe to those unarmed black men and women. We say Ashe. Ashe. Say their names. Ashe. Ashe. And we want to say Ashe to all of our ancestors, Native American ancestors, African ancestors, and all of our ancestors who have struggled and persevered for us to be here. We say Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. And a special shout out to Breonna Taylor. You will never be forgotten. The people have organized and unified for you. We say Ashe for Breonna Taylor. Ashe. Ashe. Now we will continue to drum for our ancestors and for the community of Stockton. And we're going to go ahead and relight our candle once we get our lights back. But keep your candles lit in Stockton. It's Umoja, unity. Enjoy your night. Share love, peace, unity, and unity. Umoja, our community. Umoja. Umoja.
Hi, thank you so much, family, for tuning in to Stockton Black Family Days Kwanzaa celebration. We appreciate you and your time. Thank you again for that beautiful opening ceremony to Toussaint and Malcolm Stewart. We really appreciate you and your efforts for this Kwanzaa Day celebration. Celebrating today, Umoja, unity, to strive for and maintain unity in the family, the community, the nation, and our race. Again, this is going to be a wonderful celebration all week long. So not only tonight, but tune in every day this week at 6:30 promptly as we continue to celebrate Kwanzaa. Right now, my name is Shanice Daniels. I'm a Stockton Black Family Day board member. And again, I love you. I thank you for tuning in. And we're going to welcome our first guest, Mr. Rondy Scippio from the Esquires. Hi, Rondy. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you tonight?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to let us know about your organization and all that you do in the community, celebrating unity. We really appreciate you. And again, thank you for being here. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. First, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's a privilege and a pleasure to take part in this ceremony. It's very important. It's very important that we maintain a sense of unity in the community. And just speaking on myself personally, I've been a Stockton resident for 30 years now, I think. Dating myself. But yeah, about 30 years and got two kids, and they're both great kids. One is in medical school, the other one is a network engineer working with computers and doing his thing. So, uh, life is good. That's all I can say.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sounds like you are doing a great job as a parent and definitely as a community advocate. Can you give us a little information about the Esquires and what they do in the community?
Yeah. Esquire Club has been around since 1961. That's 59 years. Most people
Wow.
don't realize that, but it's a very long and storied history for the Esquire Club. During our intro, I was just listening to it, and two of the founding fathers of the Esquire Club was mentioned in that. That was the Ben Reddish and Cleveland Edwards. I
Wow.
should say retired Colonel Cleveland Edwards. Ben, of course, just passed last month. Yeah,
Hmm.
no, this month. We just had his funeral last week.
Earlier this month. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this month. And but he and Cleve Edwards maintained continuous membership in the Esquire Club until they passed. Both of
Yeah.
them were in the club for over 50 years. Ben, of course,
Wow.
was 59 years. And I have to give a shout out to his wife, who, of course, came along with the journey with him because, if you're married, your wife's got to be right there with you. So
Absolutely.
the club started out as a social club. Started out, look, we got to find something to do here in Stockton. And as a social club, they said, well, let's get together and we're going to have meetings and we're going to figure out what we're going to do. And what we have become is an organization that provides financial assistance for youth. That's the basic thing that we do. And we do that a couple of ways. One, we give scholarships every year
That's
to
beautiful.
graduate. Yeah, graduate last year or this year we gave about $20,000, and
Wow.
yeah, every year we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 10, 15, 20,000, 10 to $20,000. The last it's been about
Wow.
20,000 each year that we're doing, and I'm proud to say that the Esquire Club is the number one minority giver in Stockton. We are the ones. Now we
That is
make that
beautiful.
happen. We make that happen through uh, a collaboration with a number of groups here in the city of Stockton, and I have to mention that collaboration because when you're talking about unity, it's all those organizations and groups and people who are making us successful in order to give that money out there, to push it out to you. We've got all kinds of options. We work with the educational spectrum. We work with fraternities, sororities. We work with churches. You name it, work with you. That's what unity is all about, as well as
Absolutely.
individuals. And we do have some very strong support from individuals. We have a couple of corporate partners who work with us, and I'll mention their names. One is F&M Bank, and the other one is Farmers Insurance. Both of those have been instrumental over the last years in helping us provide the monies that we need to provide. We also have individual investors who don't even want to be named, but who give a lot of money to us to help us do what we do. What we do, we'll take a person who needs a person who wants to go to the track meet, the AAU, I think is what it's called, and we
Mm-hmm.
funded their experience to go to that track meet. Why? Because they're part of the Stockton fabric, and everything that happens that someone is successful in becomes part of the fabric that we have in the whole all of Stockton, and that's everything to be proud of. That's a beautiful thing. We have also
Yes,
worked
it is.
with Don Aquilon. Don doing the he was doing a farm. He was doing out there in Downey, where he wanted to help build a farm area where he could provide foods for people. We help with that project. So we're
Beautiful.
pretty diverse in what we'll do in terms of helping people. So that's the Esquire Club. We're here for you.
Thank
But basically, yeah, go.
thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. And all of that entails exactly what you said, unity and the emoji principle. So thank you so much for what you guys do in the community. If someone wanted to inquire about the Esquires, become a member of the Esquires, or just want to help out, how exactly could they do that?
So the easiest way is to go to our website, StocktonEsquireClub.org. That's
Okay.
StocktonEsquireClub.org. And all the information is the way to contact us. If you want to donate, we have two major events. One is the Esquire Ball, and the other one is a golf tournament. If you would like to participate, we're more than happy to have you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you, Rondy, so much for taking the time tonight and explaining a little bit about your organization and what you do. Can you tell me a little bit how you apply the Umoja principle to your particular family?
Well, again, it takes a village to raise a child. Okay, it takes a village, and all of that is part of that unity that we need to have. Because I always believe that the way that I grew up, it's always the neighbors who's looking out for you. And I grew up around doctors. We had a dentist live next door to me. A doctor was a couple of houses down. We had business people all in our community. Now we're in the South, in the Black community. Okay, it's different, but we had that kind of support, and that's the kind of support I gave to my kids. So of course we all went to church. Church was a whole nother group of, and that was a very important layer, because see, I don't know everything,
Mm-hmm.
but you know some things I don't know. And I guarantee you, in my church there was a lot of people more things than I did. And so I layered everything around my family. So that's how I was able um, to make things happen. So even in my social life, outside of the Esquires, I had some very prominent people, interesting people who gave me advice all the time, like Dr. Elliot Chambers. Just layer yourself with good people, and you can probably find a good result coming.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. For those of you that are viewing that would like to know more about the Esquires, that would like to either donate or become a member, or just participate in going to one of their charity functions, it's right across the screen there. It's www.stoctonesquiresclub.org. Thank you again so much, Mr. Scippio, for participating today and celebrating Umoja with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything that the Esquires do in the community, but it wouldn't happen without lovely, generous hearts like yourselves. So thank you again, and be sure to tune in for the rest of the week. I know you're here today, and your family and everyone is probably watching. Is there anyone that you want to
Yeah.
give a shout out to?
Nope. No. I'll miss somebody if I do that, so I'm not gonna kill them.
Okay. All right. To those of you watching, he loves all of you. You're all included. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right. You have a
Thank you.
wonderful night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again. to Mr. Scippio. We really appreciate him coming through. The Esquires is a definite organization that has made a huge impact in the city of Stockton. So again, if you're interested in learning about them, go to www.theesquiresclub.org and read all about them. We have a few more guests for you. And again, we appreciate you, family, for being here and participating and celebrating Umoja with us. It's the first night of Kwanzaa. Our next guest is coming from the Nation of Islam and Stockton Advanced Peace. We have on the line for you, Brother Nuri Muhammed. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm fine by Allah's grace. Getting better. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm feeling better.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to celebrate Umoja with us today. And we appreciate you coming on, although you're not feeling your 100%. And we pray that you are feeling better very soon. So again, we are celebrating unity in the community, and we'd like to hear more about, you tell me more about you and the organizations that you work with and how they impact Stockton in regards to unity.
Sure. First, I'd like to say, in the name of Almighty God, I bear witness to the oneness of God, and I bear witness that the people of God are one people. And it's in his name that I greet all of you in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for the organizers. Thank you, Sister Chinse. Thank you to the presenters tonight and the organizers of this great Kwanzaa celebration. Umoja is something, a principle of action that we really need to really look into, study upon, and really put into practice. The organizations that I just have been blessed to be a part of, the Advanced Peace, of course, for the last 2 years, but not to take away anything from Advanced Peace, but even greater than Advanced Peace has been my membership and participation in the Nation of Islam that has groomed me for most of my adult life. I've been in Stockton for my entire life, left, like everyone else, frequently for school or whatnot, but found my way back home. And finding my way back home, I met a mentor, my dear beloved brother and mentor, Minister Tommy Muhammad, who is, of course, one of the stalwart founding members of this Kwanzaa celebration and the Black Family Day Committee. And he's been a mentor and a father figure for so many of us. And that's how I began to learn of any of these principles. If he had not took the time out to be a part of some young men's lives, which is part of what we need. Every organization needs to do this. I like many young Black men right now and in the past 20 to 30 or 40 years, there has been a gaping hole in the mentorship between elder men and young men. Many young men don't have a father figure, and I was one of those young men. We had a great mayor that made it to the seat of mayorship in the city of Stockton, and he was without his father. I really respect how far he's come without that father figure. We need many organizations to step in the gap, many men to step in the gap and to become father figures for these young men. That's the beginning of unity, having enough love to begin to make that attempt of operational unity. So the Nation of Islam has always been that for me, and is what I think gave me the qualifications to even begin Advanced Peace, which is a violence reduction strategy. And you can't stop violence unless you have the appropriate love and unity in order to do that. I'm glad that we're on this line and we're remembering, honoring, and remembering the names that lost their lives, the Black and brown people that lost their lives to police violence. But we must be honest with ourselves. There is a level of violence in the city of Stockton and across this nation that Black people practice with each other. And we have to work harder at it to stop the violence and to increase the love. And increasing the love will increase our unity with each other. And I think if the elder people, not saying that I'm old, but I'm getting old. It seems like I'm getting old. We have to work hard at our violent acts, which are not necessarily physical, but spiritual violence. Minister Farrakhan asked the question about love and unity and violence. And he said, do you want to stop violence? And I was looking through my notes. Of course, everybody said yes. And his response was, well, do you lie? Do you practice falsehood? So I'm thankful for Kwanzaa. Not that I'm disrespecting Christmas and all of the commercialism of it, but we have to lay to the truth of things and the truth of Christmas if we're going to celebrate it. And so I'm thankful for Dr. Karenga and the celebration of Kwanzaa and this first day of operational unity. So that's basically Nation of Islam. I think people know about us. We're here in the city of Stockton for all of this time. I don't know, 30 years or so. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that great explanation. It's so much that you covered. I don't know where to begin, but of course you were talking about Minister Tommy, who is one of the founding members of Stockton Black Family Day. He's done so much in the community and he definitely needs to be celebrated. And I appreciate him coming into the lives of men like you, because we are now seeing the fruit of his labor. Like most of the men that I come in contact that are actually organizing and doing things in the community have all been mentees of Minister Tommy Muhammed. So all praise be to Allah that he found it in his heart to find his way to the right path so that you guys can make that difference. And you were also talking about Mayor Tubbs, and I really appreciate that as well, because I did not know that he did not grow up with his father. That's something that's new to me. So it is commendable, and I appreciate you mentioning that. Is there anything that you do within the community that strives for Umoja specifically as we're heading into the last portion of the year? Is there something that you're doing now to do that?
Actually, yes. I'm trying to practice it, and I'm hoping that other people will join along with it. This operational unity, it requires some self-development, because if we don't develop ourselves, then we lose the propensity to keep our unity that we're striving for. Because we have enemies that work against our unity, you know, this divide and conquer thing that Black people and brown people have always suffered from in the annals of history, this divide and conquer. We have an enemy that attacks us from the outside, but he's only able to do it because of there's an enemy on the inside. And the enemy that we have on the inside, of course, is our natural enemy that we've had forever. And that is, you know, envy, jealousy, lust, greed, all of these things that work against the very fiber of unity. We have to strive now to do it in a practical way and to like develop ourselves and just to try to work on yourself to the point where we don't allow envy, jealousy, hatred, all of these things that kept us divided before to be an effect. We have to really strive hard to work with each other and to love each other past our faults and to be patient with one another and love with, because all we have is each other. We don't have anything else.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. What a great statement to end our evening tonight. We thank you so much, Mr. Muhammad, for taking the time out to speak to us, to give us your principles. How can people contact you, or how can they reach out to your organizations if they'd like to give, or if they'd like to participate in anything? Is there a website they can go to?
Yeah. You don't have to give us anything, just your love and support. NOI.org to watch broadcasts of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Advance Peace, come by and see me. Call me on the telephone. I'll shoot you my number. You can send it out to people. I'm very hands-on. Nothing informal. Come, as the young people say, pull up. You know?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's 7:00, family. Thank you again, Mr. Muhammad, for just giving us your time, and we hope that you feel better soon. Thank you all, family, for joining us tonight for Stockton Black Family Day's Kwanzaa celebration, the first night, Umoja, and we really appreciate you. Come again tomorrow. I am not going to mess up the principles. It's Kuji Chagalia with your host, Lena, I'm sorry, with Danielle Shelton, the Stockton Black Family Day president. She will be in tomorrow doing the hosting. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Again, blessings, family. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank our guests. We really appreciate it. We know you're very busy in the community. We love you and happy Kwanzaa.